The Fxtec and XDA Developers Android device called the Pro1 X is an Ultra Enthusiast Android device. Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and let us talk about this new Android device called the Pro1 X by Fxtec and XDA Developers. We are going to use 4 different links in this video, and all those links are linked in the description of this video. Before we start, I do respect all the developers who work for free and give us awesome Android custom ROMs with great features. Secondly, XDA Developers Portal and the forum are 2 separate entities, with the XDA Developers Portal, the one which you see on your screen right now, is more of a commercial entity and more leaning towards the business side. Those things out of the way, let us get down to business. And the first selling point of this device, it is the world's first phone to run Lineage OS out of the box. You can also get a version running Ubuntu Touch. Now, something very important which they missed out over here, which can be found in the AMA which they are hosting on Reddit, the one which comes with Lineage OS out of the box, that is the one in which the bootloader is unlocked by default. There are no Google apps, and the same applies for the one which is running Ubuntu Touch as well. That is the one which has unlocked bootloader as well. What does the fact that there are no Google apps means? It means you'll have to flash them yourselves, and because the bootloader is unlocked, that means safety net will not pass out of the box, which means your banking apps will not work. You might have to root your device and enable Magisk Hide for safety net to pass. This, I think, is something which they should mention over here, and they clearly haven't. And the same applies for their product page on Indiegogo as well. Nothing about the unlocked bootloader is mentioned, and reading this line, it seems that this is a device which has a locked bootloader and runs Lineage OS out of the box. They're not saying that if it is running Lineage OS, the bootloader is also unlocked out of the box. So that is one of the shady things which I would like to mention. The other thing is that if you scroll down on this Indiegogo page and go all the way down and look for the operating systems, right, you will see that the operating systems here are Android 9, Lineage OS 17, and Ubuntu Touch with support for more like Sailfish OS coming. So come on XDA, you are launching a device in 2020 with Android 9.0 Pie and you're asking $900 for it. If anybody else would have launched a device with Android 9.0 Pie, you would have taken them apart on your blog. But just because you are a partner on this device, the Pro1 X, you're not taking yourself apart. Well, guess what? That is why we are here for. Next up, of course, the big advantage of this device is that you can run multiple operating systems. But at this point, considering the fact that once you choose for Ubuntu Touch or Lineage OS, your bootloader is unlocked. So I'm not sure how they're trying to make this device different from, say, any other device which has official Lineage OS support out there. It's no different, right? Because clearly in the AMA also they mention that if you're looking for Android OS updates, those are at the behest of Qualcomm. Let me find that post over here. So here it is. Somebody asks them that since this is an XDA phone, I'm really interested in knowing how many years will this device get officially supported. Is it 5+ years because it is using a Snapdragon 835? And remember, most Android devices are not updated to the newest Android version because Qualcomm stops supporting the drivers and stuff. So that is what they mentioned. This is not something I believe any of us are privy to, as it is at the behest of Qualcomm. So if you're looking at the device to be your daily driver and pass safety net, you might be stuck on Android 9.0 Pie. No doubt the developers over at Lineage OS are talented enough and you might get security patches, but Android version updates would be like, this is like as good as a $150 Motorola device when it comes to Android version updates. And I'm sorry for being so blunt, but that is what is coming out and that is what apparently the truth is, but it is nowhere to be mentioned on either their blog or their Indiegogo page. Moving over to the key specs, of course, everybody knows that they took the popular Fxtec Pro1, which was launched last year, apparently with a Snapdragon 835, and they made a few key tweaks. So they just increased the RAM and storage, and they actually want the retail price is like $900 for this device. Coming to the most important part, which would be the camera, right? So the camera here is a 12 megapixel on the back, 8 megapixel on the front, and the camera sensor on the back which you have, that is the Sony IMX363, and it is the same sensor which you find in the Google Pixel 5 right now. So Google has been using the same camera sensor for quite some time, and that is the sensor which you see on this device. Now with respect to camera, let us search for camera on this page. Here it is. Somebody did ask about the camera performance, and they say camera isn't the greatest. Sensor is the Sony IMX363, which the Pixel 5 has. And guess what, Captain Obvious, you might have mentioned over here that that is the camera sensor which Pixel 2 to Pixel 5 have, because you mentioning there that Pixel 5 has it makes it looks like it's a good thing, and everybody is criticizing Google for using the same camera sensor over and over again. Anyways, and then they say a good Gcam port should be decent. So clearly in terms of camera as well, you're dependent on developers to bring you a good Gcam port. Next up, let us have a look at the selling point for this device, right? Why they created the Pro1 X. So they mentioned that privacy has become very important this year, more than ever before, and Lineage OS is known for letting you go beyond the controls you find on a traditional Android phone. So they're talking about Privacy Guard for Lineage OS 16 and AOSP's Permission Hub for Lineage OS 17, which are, trust me, very good features. So that is their selling point for this device. But important thing to note here is that if you want to run Lineage OS on this device, you will need an unlocked bootloader. And once the bootloader is unlocked, you are inviting trouble. You cannot sell the device as a privacy oriented device with an unlocked bootloader. That is, like, in my humble opinion, that is absolutely wrong. So they're giving us this reason, and then the other reason of course is that you can have an Ubuntu computer in your pocket, because they have enabled the HDMI out feature in Ubuntu Touch, so you can connect your monitor using an HDMI cable and the phone display can be used as a trackpad. So that is another added advantage. Now this is their selling point, right? And because this post is on XDA developers portal, most of the forum readers are gonna read it and be, oh, like, I want the XDA phone, I want the XDA phone. Well, guess what? Even their own people from the XDA developers portal are not going to use this device. Here it is. This is Mishal Rahman. He says that if you are looking for a great value or comparing this to a modern flagship, well, let's not even get into that. And he says it is not for me either. I won't be buying one. I have no need for one. It's a niche phone for a very niche audience, and it doesn't pretend to be anything else. So let us search for the word niche on their blog post. 0 occurrences found. Where on this blog post do you mention that this device is for a niche audience? You are posting on the XDA developers portal something which millions of Android users are going to read, right? And you are hiding important things, and then in a Twitter post you come out as a very good guy that this is for a very niche audience. Where is this keyword niche mentioned in the Indiegogo page as well? It's nowhere to be mentioned. And just yesterday I was watching this live stream from Phone Jerome, and he was interested in buying this device, and I was like, let me look into it, and that is what is like forcing me to make this video. And of course, I mean, people who have Linux and who like Linux are obviously going to be positive about this phone, no doubt in that. But Don't try to sell it as a daily driver device. This is a device for the ultra enthusiast, someone who's going to develop something. And I don't understand how or why would somebody want to invest, say, $500 or even say $600 on this 835 device when you can buy a $250 Xiaomi device, unlock the bootloader, and go bonkers developing on that. And then another funny thing which I found is that if you go to this Indiegogo post and have a look at their comparison graphs, so Geekbench score and GPU benchmark scores, right? For starters, they say we do not get caught up in the gigahertz discussions, but if you really want to know, here is how the Pro1 X compares to some of the competition now. No offense, but who on earth thinks that the OnePlus Nord is the 2025G flagship? That's a 400-pound device. You have a $900 device and you say it is the 2025G flagship. I think Samsung and Apple might have to say something about that. So to finish off this video, this device is, as I mentioned in the beginning, it's for the ultra enthusiast, and I'm not even sure, like, I'm more than happy that it has already met the goal which they are looking for, right? That's good news for the company, good news for them, good news for XDA. But the normal user, this one is not for you. And even if you buy it, trust me, what you're paying for is a physical keyboard and the XDA logo on the back of the device. That's it. That's what you're paying for. I would suggest go over to eBay, look for a sticker of XDA, put it on the back of your device and save yourself, say, $898.